What's going on, everybody? Welcome back again to the show. Today we are talking about the NFL.com. They have released a full 7-round mock draft. Today we're just going to talk about the first 3 people that they have the Seahawks picking over. They have the Seahawks going with Tetairoa McMillan in the first round, Azariah Thomas in the second round, and Quinn Ewers also in the second round. This is a really exciting mock draft. I think this would be really exciting for the Seahawks if they could get these 3 players. 2 guys with a ton of star potential, and I think Azariah Thomas has a lot of potential as well. But let's start with Tetairoa McMillan. Here we go. Tet McMillan, man, what a good option this would be for the Seahawks in the first round at wide receiver. He might be the best wide receiver in this entire draft class. And I know I just said literally yesterday that Matthew Golden might be the best wide receiver in this year's draft class, but actually I think might be Tet McMillan. Look at the numbers: 1,319 yards. 8 touchdowns, 109.9 yards per game, 15.7 yards per attempt, 84 receptions total. High volume weapon out of Arizona. He was the Wildcats' best receiver last year, and yeah, he was tremendous. I mean, clearly first round potential guy. He's a guy that has been compared to, literally, he's been compared to Justin Jefferson. He's been compared to CeeDee Lamb. Lance Zierlein is actually comparing him to Drake London, which maybe not a Justin Jefferson comparison, but still a really good player to be compared to. Lance Zierlein writes that here's his strengths: highly productive in all receiving columns, 2023 tape filled with highlight reel touchdowns, clever hand fighter, adjusts route to coverage, scrambles for his quarterback when needed, feels coverage in space, long strides to uncover and add yards across the field. He rescues throws with his catch radius, size, bounce, and body control to dominate airspace, plays with excellent focus and footwork near the boundary. Sources tell us that he got hurt in the spring, not sure if he ever made it back to 100%. The 2023 tape gives you a better idea of who he is than the 2024 tape. Here's his weaknesses: doesn't create much threat in the drive phase, routes could use better urgency, force him to heavy percentage of contested targets, average toughness on run after catch. If you look at his total score, his production score, second. His athleticism score, only 71, but his total score still comes in at number 2 overall. I believe that's behind Travis Hunter. He's rated as prospect grade of 6.4, one of the highest in the entire draft class. They have him becoming a good starter within 2 years. Comes out of Hawaii, 6'4", 219 pounds, 10-inch hands. He's a junior. Went to Arizona. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with drafting Tetairoa McMillan. In fact, I think he might be the far and away best option for the Seahawks at receiver. Look, I do like Matthew Golden. I know I said yesterday I'd be down to see Matthew Golden in the Seahawks uniform, but I think McMillan would make more sense for this team because the Seahawks already have 2 small-ish receivers, right? They have JSN and Cooper Kupp, both kind of smaller frame guys, and Matthew Golden is a smaller frame guy, unlike Tet McMillan. McMillan is a big body, 6'4". He can be that new DK Metcalf. He can be kind of that A.J. Brown, George Pickens, DK Metcalf type of target who just goes up and makes these massive, incredible catches. Playmaker, right? That's who he is. He is a playmaker. And I agree with that NFL scouting director who said that. Like, the tape in 2023 is so good. The plays that he made for Arizona are so impressive. I would love to see this guy in the Seahawks. I think he would be the best. I think if we go receiver in the first round, Tet McMillan is who I want in Seahawks blue. All right, but then in the second round, NFL.com has the Seahawks going with a cornerback. In particular, they have us going with Azariah Thomas. Azariah Thomas, an interesting name who I was not as familiar with, comes out of Florida State. He was on that undefeated Florida State team that, maybe they got robbed. I don't know. Of that NFL, of the college football playoff. But Azariah Thomas, he actually has some really interesting numbers. His production score ranks 9th among all cornerbacks. His athleticism score ranks 24th. His total score puts him as the 9th best cornerback in this year's draft. He's graded out to be a 6.32. They have him as eventually being a plus starter. It looks like he is 6'1.5", 197 pounds, 10-inch hands. He's a junior coming out of Florida State. I think that this would be an interesting draft choice for the Seahawks for sure. I'm not sure if I necessarily agree, but let's walk through it. I mean, looking at the stats, he looks fine. 17 assists, 36 solo tackles, 1 interception, 4 passes defense. That's kind of where my question lies, though, is why just the 1 interception? Why just the 4 passes defense? What's the issue there? Why isn't he getting these interceptions? If he's not able to get them in college, why would he get them in the NFL? Lance Zierlein does, though, project him as a round 2 pick, compares him to Jalen Watson. Press man cornerback with average speed but excellent length to disrupt game flow for opponents. He deters early looks his way from quarterbacks by jabbing, crowding, and smothering the release from press. He lacks route recognition and lateral twitch to stay tight to breaks from off man. He also needs to develop his instincts and trust his eyes from zone coverage. He has average top end speed but competes to shrink the receiver's downfield catch odds using his length and ball skills. More likely to spoil a catch than make a play on the football that results in a turnover, but that could change with more experience. He's below average in run support, although he improved in that area in 2024. He needs more seasoning, but he could become a good starter within 2 or 3 years. Interesting that they say that he needs more seasoning, but he could become a good starter within 2 or 3 years. I'm not sure if the Seahawks really need a good starter within 2 or 3 years. I think they need a good starter now. Honestly, I mean, because the way that the cornerback position looks right now in Seattle, obviously you have Devon Witherspoon, who's great, but Reek Woolen is very much a question mark at this point. Are we going to pay him? Do we want to pay him? I don't know. Is he even a starting caliber cornerback? I think he is. I don't know. And also, Witherspoon, he's definitely better out of the nickel, so having a third good cornerback would be really huge. Now, Azariah Thomas, it sounds like he's a little bit more of a project guy, which I'm surprised that, a project guy going in the second round, he must be a really, really capable project guy. But I just worry about some of those numbers. Only 4 passes defense last year, only 1 interception. Like, what was going on there that he wasn't able to defend those passes and get those picks? I don't know. I don't know if there's an issue there or what was going on. But personally, I think I might stay away from Azariah Thomas if I were the Seahawks. But let's move on, guys. NFL.com has the Seahawks at number 52 with their second pick in the second round, drafting Quinn Ewers out of the University of Texas. Quarterback Quinn Ewers. This would be obviously a very, very trendy pick. Last season, Quinn Ewers went for 3,472 yards. He threw 31 touchdowns, 149 passer rating, 65.8% completion, and 12 interceptions. So again, good numbers. He led Texas to the semifinals and had a good season. I mean, yeah, it's obviously not. Is he the best quarterback in the draft? Obviously not. But I think he is a good player. I think he would make some sense at least in this draft as a quarterback. The Seahawks, obviously they did just sign Sam Darnold, so if they're drafting Quinn Ewers, he wouldn't be starting, right? He wouldn't be starting. He'd be the backup, and NFL.com projects him to be a good backup with the potential to develop into a starter. His NFL comparison is Sam Howell, round 3 projection. I struggle with that comparison because if that is his comparison, if Sam Howell is the comp, I don't know why you would draft Quinn Ewers. That's my problem there. Obviously, he was once the best number 1 overall prospect. In high school, he was the number 1 overall prospect nationally for quarterbacks. He went to Ohio State, started 10 games, went to Texas, ended up becoming their starter. He's been good. He had a good season last year. Second all-team SEC, 6th in the FBS with 31 passing touchdowns. He threw a touchdown in each of his last 27 games. Here's what Lance Zierlein writes. His arm talent and game flashes are enticing, but he hasn't learned to play the game with a high enough level of consistency. The tape of road wins over Alabama and Michigan showed the clearest picture of his ceiling. He spins it with a sudden release and good touch over the first 2 levels, makes it look easy when he finds a rhythm, won a high percentage of his career starts, but struggled to put points on the board in most big games in 2024. He rarely operates as a smooth, full-field reader, often predetermines his target and throws into coverage instead of taking what the defense is offering. Lack of escapability will require him to process quickly enough to stay ahead of NFL blitz packages. The raw talent and upside will be alluring for pro-style passing attacks, but it's fair to wonder if he will ever be able to rise above the talent on his roster and the ability of his play caller. Well, even if it's Sam Howell, then that's a bust, right? Sam Howell's not a good NFL player. We've seen him in Seattle. We saw him in Washington. Sam Howell was a fifth round pick. He's not a capable NFL player. So if that is what if that is what Lance Zierlein thinks Quinn Ewers is, I would stay very, very far away from Quinn Ewers. I don't know if I would go that far. I don't know if I think he's that bad, But I tend to kind of agree. I don't really want Quinn Ewers in Seattle. If we were going to draft a quarterback, I'd rather it be someone who's more of a dual threat. Someone like Jalen Milroe, or someone like Jackson Dart, who can actually get around the field, move around, has more escapability, and is more of a two-dimensional player. Quinn Ewers is kind of a one-dimensional guy. He's a pocket passer, and to me, he feels like a poor man's Bo Nix, which I don't know if that's what I want on this roster. So I would stay away from Quinn Ewers. I would. I don't really like Quinn Ewers in Seattle. I disagree with NFL.com there, and yeah, I'm not a fan. With that being said, guys, though, I want to hear your take. Drop your comments down in the comment section down below. Who do you want to see in Seattle? Quinn Ewers, Ted McMillan, do any of these guys make you excited for the draft, which is very, very quickly approaching? We'll see you guys tomorrow, and as always, until next time, go Seahawks.